Imagine a smartphone app loaded with information about Puerto Rico's best beaches that could tell you all about surf conditions, riptides, UV index, and any other vital fact before leaving your home or hotel room. Wouldn't that be great? Now, imagine it including a video of every beach, or at least still pictures, GPS coordinates so you could get there in a jiffy, information about parking facilities, showers, buoys, lifeguards, signage, food, or any other piece of pertinent data. Wouldn't that be even better? Well, as you might imagine, those were my expectations for the new SwimSafe PR app recently announced last June by the Puerto Rico Tourism Company. After all, it's 2026, and all that information is floating in cyberspace just waiting to be scraped. So, as soon as I heard about the new application, I downloaded it to my phone and tinkered away. Oh, and before the trolls flood my comment box, accusing me of always putting the island government down, let me just say that the app is a laudable effort. That's not to say that it's bad, but it could be better. So, during the next few minutes, I'm going to be as fair as humanly possible. I'll tell you all about the good aspects of the SwimSafe PR app, and then I'll go through the areas that I consider improvement opportunities. How's that for an optimistic spin? Welcome to Puerto Rico by GPS, the channel for English-speaking solo travelers over 45 who want to know it all about the Caribbean's most beautiful island. Yeah, I'm biased. My name is Orlando Mergal, and today we're going to be discussing the new SwimSafe PR app by the Puerto Rico Tourism Company. In today's world, attention is a rare commodity. Some people get seconds of it, like when an airhead youngster swipes endlessly through his TikTok Reels or Shorts feed. There's no real connection there, just short bursts of dopamine with no practical or measurable consequence. Now an app? That's a different story. People download apps because they have a broader interest in something. They have a need and perceive the app to be their solution. Apps are an open channel, an opportunity to get into somebody's head. So what you say, what you show, and even what you don't say and what you don't show are all opportunities. Very important opportunities. Every second squandered is a second that we're never going to get back. Now, let's take a look at the new SwimSafe PR app for iPhone and Android smartphones. First of all, it's not new, or at least that's what the name implies. The fact that its actual name is SwimSafe 2.0 suggests that there was once a SwimSafe 1.0. So, one would expect this to be an improved version. Second, it's made for locals. Or better yet, let's just say that it's thought for locals. Some will argue, but Orlando, it's bilingual. You can select between English and Spanish in the settings area. Yeah, but the way that the entire app is laid out tells me that it was made more for locals than for visitors. More on that in a minute. Third, it's static. In today's smartphone world, video is king. The entire front page of this app is a long read about riptides and recommendations. Granted, all that information needs to be there, but couldn't they just have used a short video instead? Wasn't this an excellent opportunity for the island's head of tourism to welcome people to the island? Oh, right, they weren't thinking about visitors. So what do you think? Will anyone read through those 2 paragraphs of copy and 7 bullet points? Will you? And then there's the colored flags. You have to click on them to discover that they're actually pop-ups. And yet the words "click here" are nowhere to be found. Whoever designed this app would be well served reading Steve Krug's "Don't Make Me Think." And finally, the emergency numbers are buried well beyond the fold. And guess what? I didn't forget about the map. I just left it for last. First, it has no instructions, once again Steve Krug, so you're left to guess what to do next. On the top, you have a switch that goes between rip current and swimming safety. How are those different? What other conditions can cause swimming to be unsafe? Then you have a bunch of color-coded flags all along the coast. If you change the switch at the top, the flags change color. The color code for the flags is buried well beyond the fold. What the map doesn't tell you is that if you click on any of the flags, a larger window pops up with all sorts of information. It starts with the beach name. Great, but where is it? What's it like? Is it child-friendly? What facilities does it have? Does it have lifeguards? Buoys? Lockers? Showers? Signage? Food vendors? And parking? Now granted, it does include detected hazards, current conditions, a 24-hour forecast, and current wave height, all of which I suppose they're pulling in real time from the National Weather Service. That's why I started this video by saying that this app is a laudable effort. At first glance, the information seems to be all there, but it's not. Now here's why I say that this app was thought for locals. First, it doesn't tell me where the beach is. I've lived in Puerto Rico since 1963. I came here when I was 9, so I pretty much know where every single beach is. Besides, I wrote a book about the beaches, so I visited every single one of them firsthand. But our visitors don't know. Furthermore, they also don't know what each beach looks like or what kind of beach it is. In my book, I divide Puerto Rican beaches into 3 kinds: balnearios, wild beaches, and eye candy. Balnearios are government-run beaches that have all the bells and whistles. You can expect a designated parking area, lifeguards, buoys, showers, lockers, signage, concession stands. Well, you get the idea. Most of them are free, by the way. But in some cases, you'll pay a small fee for parking, lockers, or beach chairs. Wild beaches are, well, they're wild, like God made them. All you get is the sun, the water, the sand, and if you're lucky, some shade. That's it. This isn't to say that they're bad. In fact, many of them are just as good as balnearios. But for one, they're not as safe because there are no lifeguards, and some of them can be quite solitary. Then you have eye candy beaches. Eye candy is a term that comes from the world of photography, and it refers to something that's great to look at, but not so much to enjoy. Locals know about those beaches, and they never bathe in them. They're ridden with rip currents, reefs, sea urchins, and even dangerous fish. SwimSafe PR says nothing about any of these matters. It simply pulls from an online database and plots the information. Not that there's anything inherently wrong with that, but it's a wasted opportunity. An opportunity to showcase Puerto Rico's beauty and even promote other aspects of island adventure. Finally, the absence of additional information is what makes this app for locals. If you say, for example, Playa Los Tubos to anyone in Puerto Rico, it'll immediately paint a picture in their mind. For me, it's the beach where I met my wife. For others, it's an excellent scuba area. For others, it's just plain deep. Yeah, it gets real deep real fast. But For someone, let's say, from Milwaukee, the words Los Tubos say nothing. They don't paint a picture. He or she doesn't instantly know where it is or what it's like. In anthropology, you learn that words are idioms. They paint pictures in our minds. That's why a Hopi Indian paints different pictures in his head than an Anglo-Saxon white person from Maine. Benjamin Lee Whorf taught us that in his seminal book, Language, Thought, and Reality. Our continental visitors don't understand our idioms, so just including the name of the beach helps very little. So to summarize, what do I think about the new and improved SwimSafe PR app? Is it any good? Well, I told you from the beginning, it's a laudable effort full of improvement opportunities. Now, didn't that sound nice? If you know the beach you're visiting, if you can picture it in your head, and if it fits your safety and enjoyment needs, then the SwimSafe PR app will tell you if it's safe to go. But if you don't, then you'll have a whole lot of information about places you know nothing about. And what good will that do? Oh, and if you got this far, check out the following 2 videos. In one, I tell you about Puerto Rico's 10 safest beaches, and in the other, about the 10 most dangerous. And yes, you get to see them.